At the center of this story stood the Blackwood residence, a grand home tucked inside the quiet, tree-lined streets of Maple Grove. From the outside, it embodied the American dream. To neighbors, the Blackwoods were the picture of a perfect blended family. Successful, united, untouchable. Terrence Blackwood, a distinguished man in his early 50s with salt and pepper hair and a commanding presence, had built a small empire in real estate development. Over decades, his projects reshaped the skylines of several mid-sized Pennsylvania cities, earning him wealth, influence, and admiration. His wife of 3 years, Lorelei Blackwood, was a former model whose elegance and charm had seemingly not faded with time. Wherever she went, she carried herself with practiced grace, the kind that drew attention without effort. Completing the family were their children. Ivy Blackwood, Terrence's biological daughter from his first marriage, was a bright and ambitious college student studying psychology. Callum Reeves, Lorelei's son from her previous marriage, had recently graduated with a business degree and stood on the edge of launching his own career. To the outside world, the Blackwoods represent success, second chances, and the possibility that love could bloom again after loss. Terrence and Lorelei's whirlwind romance had once been the talk of Maple Grove. Their lavish wedding was remembered as the social event of the year, a beacon of hope for those who believed in love after heartbreak. Even the blending of their children appeared effortless. Friends marveled at how naturally Ivy and Callum adjusted, praising Terrence and Lorelei for creating such a harmonious home. But beneath that carefully curated image of familial bliss, something far darker was taking shape. The walls of the Blackwood house held secrets, unspoken truths, forbidden desires, and simmering resentments that threatened to tear the family apart. Terrence's journey to suburban success had not been easy. Raised by working-class parents in Pittsburgh, he climbed the socioeconomic ladder through sheer determination and a sharp instinct for opportunity. By his mid-30s, his company was thriving. His first marriage to Elizabeth, a college sweetheart, had been a true partnership. Together, they balanced business ambitions with raising their daughter, Ivy. That life shattered when Elizabeth died suddenly from an aneurysm, leaving Terrence a widower and Ivy motherless at just 12 years old. For 5 years, Terrence buried himself in work and fatherhood, pushing grief aside. Romance was an afterthought, until a chance meeting at a charity gala introduced him to Lorelei. Lorelei's life had followed a very different path. Discovered by a modeling scout at 16, she spent her 20s on runways and magazine covers. Her marriage to photographer Julian Reeves produced a son, Callum. But the union collapsed under the weight of infidelity and a fading career. Divorced at 35, Lorelei found herself navigating single motherhood in a world that prized youth above all else. When she and Terrence met, it felt, at least on the surface, like fate granting both of them a second chance. Their relationship moved fast, very fast. Within a year, they were married and moving into Blackwood home, ready to begin life as a blended family. At first, Ivy struggled. Fiercely loyal to her late mother's memory, she approached the new dynamic with skepticism. But over time, Lorelei's warmth and persistent attempts at connection softened her resistance. Callum, pragmatic and adaptable, welcomed the stability Terrence offered. He appreciated the opportunities that came with the Blackwood name, even as he dreamed of carving out his own future. Outsiders saw perfection. Inside the house, the balance was far more fragile. As summer arrived, tension simmered beneath polite smiles and social appearances. Expectations went unspoken, boundaries blurred, and emotions intensified in ways no one was prepared to confront. July 15th, 2023, dawn hot and humid in Maple Grove. Terrence woke early, already focused on a crucial investor meeting scheduled for that afternoon. A deal that could push his company into its most ambitious project yet. As he adjusted his tie, Lorelei entered the bathroom, her silk robe whispering across the floor. "Morning, darling," she murmured, kissing his cheek. "Dinner tonight? That new Italian place." Terrence hesitated. "I'm not sure when I'll be back. This meeting could run late." For just a moment, Lorelei's smile faltered, quickly replaced by practiced composure. "Of course," she said lightly. "Another time." Downstairs, Ivy sat hunched over a bowl of cereal, scrolling through her phone. Callum had already left for his internship. Terrence kissed Lorelei goodbye and drove off. The morning passed quietly. Ivy left for her summer job at the library. Lorelei busied herself with errands and charity planning. By mid-afternoon, the house was still. Then, just after 3 p.m., Terrence's car pulled unexpectedly into the driveway. The meeting had ended early, a rare victory that left him with unfamiliar free time. As he entered the house, the silence struck him as odd. Lorelei's car was gone. He loosened his tie and headed upstairs to change. That was when he heard it. Muffled voices, whispers, then stifled laughter. It was coming from Ivy's room. Concern twisted into suspicion as Terrence approached the door. He raised his hand to knock, then stopped. There were two voices, one unmistakably male. Without thinking, he turned the knob. The door swung open. Time seemed to freeze. On the bed were Ivy and Callum, partially undressed, tangled together in a way that left no room for misunderstanding. Shock gave way to rage. What the hell is going on? Terrence roared. Chaos erupted. In a blur of fury and betrayal, Terrence lunged at Callum. The two men collided, crashing into furniture. Ivy screamed, begging her father to stop. Callum, gasping, grabbed a heavy crystal paperweight and struck Terrence in the head. Blood spilled, but it only fueled the rage. Moments later, Callum lay motionless. Silence followed. The reality of what had happened slowly settled in. Panic consumed the room. Ivy sobbed, begging to call the police. But Terrence stopped hookup. This was an accident, he said coldly. If the police come now, they'll destroy us. And in that moment, a terrible decision was made. Together, they covered it up. By nightfall, Callum was reported missing. The town rallied. Police searched. Detectives asked questions. But as days turned into weeks, something didn't add up. Detective Elias Thorne sensed it. Then came the confession. And finally, the twist no one saw coming. Terrence hadn't killed Callum. Ivy had. Terrence had taken the blame to protect his daughter, staging evidence, lying police, and destroying what remained of his family in the process. The verdicts were devastating. Ivy Blackwood was sentenced to 18 years for second-degree murder. Terrence Blackwood received 5 years for obstruction of justice. Maple Grove was left shattered, forced to confront a truth as old as crime itself. Even the most perfect homes can hide unimaginable darkness.